Hello and welcome to the channel Beyond the Curve. And today I'll be answering question number 3 of the 2024 May June FP1 paper. So it says fx equals x cubed minus 5 root x minus 4x plus 7, where x is greater than or equals to 0. The equation fx equals 0 has a root alpha in the interval 0.25 to 1. Use linear interpolation once on the interval to determine an approximation to alpha, giving your answer to 3 decimal places. Alright, so part A. For linear interpolation, we need to find the values of f of 0.25 and f of 1. So let me write down the equation first. Fx equals x cubed minus 5 root x minus 4x plus 7, and then f of 0.25 cubed minus 5 times square root of 0.25 minus 4 times 0.25 plus 7. Let me put this into the cal and find the value. Which is 3.515625, and I always prefer writing it to 3 significant figures, so let's write that down. 3.52, or we could also write it to 3 decimal places because the question tells us to give the answer to 3 decimal places. So 3.516. Now we can find f of 1. 1 cubed minus 5 into square root of 1 minus 4 into 1 plus 7. 1 minus 5 minus 4 plus 7, that is equals to minus 1. Now we can draw the axis, an easier way to visualize linear interpolation. Nope, let me draw that a bit straight. Nope. So 0.25 to 3.516, which is here, and then 1 is over here where it is minus 1 over here. So we can use the properties of similar triangles to do linear interpolation. Therefore, I'll mark this point, the line where it cuts the axis, as alpha because that is our required root. So if we are to use the properties of similar triangles, we have to take 2 different triangles and calculate the width over the height or the height over the width. So it goes as we'll take these 2 triangles and this one, so meaning this big triangle and this small triangle. So I can say alpha minus 0.25, which is this one, and over the height, which is 3.516 minus 0, which is 3.516, equals to the other triangle's width over the height. The other triangle's width can be written as 1 minus alpha. Now that will be this width over the height is 1. And now we can solve to find the value of alpha. We can cross multiply. This one goes to the other side, and this 3.516 goes to the other side. So 1 times alpha minus 0.25 is equals to 3.516 times 1 minus alpha. Let's expand the brackets. 1 times alpha is alpha, minus 1 times 0.25 is minus 0.25, equals 3.516 minus 3.516 alpha. So let's bring all the alphas to one side and all the numbers to the other side. So 1 alpha plus 3.516 alpha will be 4.516 alpha. 3.516 plus 0.25 will be 3.766. So alpha equals 3.766 divided by 4.516. Let me find the value. And that is 0.83392, and so on. But we have to round the answer to 3 decimal places, so it's going to be 0.834. And that's our answer to part A. Moving on to part B, it says the equation fx equals 0 has another root, beta, in the interval 1.5 to 2.5. Determine f dash x. So this question is asking us to differentiate f of x now, and let's do that. So f of x, rewrite the function x cubed minus 5 root x minus 4x plus 7. And let me also rewrite it in a form so that it's easier to differentiate. So x cubed will be as it is, and I can write minus 5 square root of x as minus 5x to the power half, and minus 4x plus 7. So f dash x is going to be x cubed differentiated will be 3x squared minus 5x to the power half will be half times 5 x to the power half minus 1 will be minus half, and then minus 4x differentiation will be minus 4 plus 7 differentiated will be 0. Let's simplify this. 3x squared minus 5 over 2 into x to the power minus half minus 4. Now we can leave this as it is, or we can also take the x to the power minus half to the denominator and write that as minus 5 over 2 square root of x. But either way is fine, so I'll keep this as my final answer. Now moving on to part C. Hence, using x naught as 1.75 as the first approximation to beta, apply the Newton-Raphson process once to fx to determine a second approximation to beta, giving your answer to 3 decimal places. Okay, so Newton-Raphson process has a particular equation which can be found in the formula booklet. So it says xn plus 1 is equals to xn minus f of xn over f dash xn, and we are being given the x naught value as 1.75. If x naught is the first approximation, and if they want us to find the second approximation, we are going to find x1. So x1 will be equals to x naught minus f of x naught over f dash of x naught. So let's find f of 1.75. We haven't found this value before, so we'll have to do the calculation. Right, so which is equals to 1.75 cubed minus 5 into square root of 1.75 minus 4x, minus 4 times 1.75 plus 7. Let me put that in the cal. 1.75 cubed minus 5 times the square root of 1.75 minus 4 times 1.75 plus 7. That is going to be minus 1.255. And now let's find f dash of 1.75. F dash of 1.75 will be 3 times 1.75 squared minus 5 over 2 into 1.75 to the power minus half minus 4. That will be 3.297. So now let's apply the equation. x1 is equals to x naught, which is 1.75, minus f of x naught, which is f of 1.75, that is minus 1.255, divided by f dash of x naught, which is 3.2977. I'll put that into the calculator. That gives us 2.1305 5, 7, and so on, but our answer has to be given to 3 decimal places. So therefore 2.131, which means beta is going to be 2.131 to 3 decimal places. And that's the end of question number 3. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe the channel, and I'll see you soon.